All right. Hello, everybody. Suzanne Hacker here, your vacation rental business coach with Welcoming Wow. And I am here today with Clive. And Clive, you have a company that you have started in the UK that reaches vacation rental owners and guests, but it's not specifically around vacations. I'm assuming that's correct. If you can tell us a little bit more about your company and what you do and who you are, I would appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Suzanne. So basically, a very short history of me and my career in hosting and real estate is I come from a real estate background. I was a real estate agent. I believe you guys call them realtors, and then went on to becoming a host myself, and then going beyond that into hosting other people's properties. I believe you call it arbitrage, and then from there, building a software product which aims to solve problems we had in our business in managing other people's properties. House of Bookings is our vacation rental marketing agency, and we manage about 63 properties now globally, typically luxury vacation homes, chalets, and large villas. We've recently taken on a lot of properties in the south of Portugal in the Algarve, which led us to need to take on. We have staff that help us do the general management of the marketing and stuff. But we had to kind of think a little bit differently when it came to taking on so many in one go. And to do so, we found that there was no software solution that kind of solved all the problems that we needed. We have to report to, because we do the whole spectrum of vacation rental management. From we may do a deal which is vacation rental marketing only, or it could be full property management from staffing to changing toasters and linen, whatever, the full spectrum. So in that, we need to be able to report back to the property owners to automatically generate reports, because it's quite a laborious task creating a report for a property. And when you're talking about dealing with properties on scale, it really doesn't make sense. Even if you've got staff, it's a lot of man hours going into creating reports. So that was one element of the software that we needed, and also to update all of the rates and minimum stays across all of the multiple channels that we use. Direct booking as well is a large part of what we do. So these were all factors that we were considering, and we found that there wasn't really a solution out there that solved our problem. So that's the Hello Hosty part of the business.
And how did you come up with the name Hello Hosty?
Well, I was actually sitting in the bath and I thought to myself, what name could we call it? And
love it.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, every time I log into this, what would make me smile? And I thought, if somebody said to me, "Hello Hosty."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
So I thought,
Very
yeah,
cool.
it made me smile. So I thought, go with that.
Good. Well, that's sometimes what life is about. It's just about how can we make us and others smile.
Yeah,
I love it.
Very much so. I'd agree with you. Not just in the business of being a host, making people smile, but day-to-day life, you do so much a better job when you're smiling.
Yep, I agree. Definitely. Yeah. So tell us then about what you offer. So if, let's say I had a vacation rental that I wanted you to handle, tell me how it would work.
Okay. Right. Okay. So typically the way that we work with individuals or property owners, there's a very specific type of person typically that we deal with. They've worked very hard in life, and they've managed to get enough resources together to get an incredible home, and they like to enjoy it sometimes, but they don't want to be there dealing with guest issues. Oh, like a toaster's broken. Oh no, the cleaners didn't do the perfect job, and all of this stuff. It's a lot. There's a lot in there, and also perhaps there's a little kind of a gap in the knowledge of how to really present. I mean, I guess I get a lot of this back from my estate agent days, realtor days, when understanding how to market a property. So how to communicate what the amenities are, how to really communicate a sense of how the guest would fit into that space and how they would enjoy that space. So we'd come along to the property, we'd stage a professional photo shoot, create incredible content, get loads of great video as well for socials, build a personal website to the property, create the social media channels social media listings for all of the properties, and then obviously list it on all of the platforms and deal with all of the guest communications. Quite often, if the property's already been running, if they already have a system in place with a local team managing the property physically, the cleaning, the maintenance, this kind of stuff, we'll plug in to that local team, which obviously saves a lot of legwork. But if they don't have, or if the team that they're working with are a little bit incompetent, then which can be the case, then we'll assist them in finding the right people to make sure their property's taken care of in the best possible way, and that the guests are getting the best possible experience. It's all important to make sure that every part of the puzzle fits together for that to happen.
So it sounds like you guys can handle everything.
Well, we try. I kind of, what really happened. There was obviously with COVID, there was a big shift in everything, and when COVID hit, there was a lot of, everybody in this industry will have a tale. If they were here throughout COVID and they're still standing, they'll have a story to tell about their experience with it. Everything was shut down, and we kind of realized that one of the best places to be was in the marketing management side of things, because there was still tourism throughout COVID in some places. The US, you guys had a lot of tourism still, a lot of domestic tourism going on there. Spain had a lot of domestic tourism. The UK domestic, it was all domestic tourism, and there were a lot of people that turned to vacation rentals as a source of income, but they didn't have the knowledge to or the knowledge or the willpower to push through all the problems that face you. And we found that we could serve people through that with House of Bookings.
So currently, Hello Hosty, it can help vacation rental owners or homeowners in which countries, and what countries are you looking to expand to?
Well, currently where we stand with, we're talking about two businesses here. We've got House of Bookings, which is the vacation rental management marketing agency, and Hello Hosty. Hello Hosty is currently in the process of being built, the software solution, and that software solution aims to solve problems for anybody who has one property up to 1,000. It really answers all of the problems that I've faced. If I had this solution when I started out 10 years ago, it would have helped me no end. Technology wasn't what it is today 10 years ago. So the solution is really aiming to solve those problems that would have helped me grow much quicker, help us grow in our endeavor much quicker. In terms of where it serves, anywhere over the planet that the UK government deems safe to go.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere the UK government deems safe to go, and so where your general tourist will go.
Okay, gotcha. So yes, you have the two businesses, the Hello Hosty, which is your software solution that you'll be rolling out next year.
Yeah, early 2023, first quarter 2023. Yeah.
Okay, and then your House of Bookings is where you manage everything through your company for the owners there in Europe.
That's right. Well, yeah, we deal with Europe, but also Asia, Sri Lanka. We have property there in Sri Lanka. I think really we'd be looking to do more in Asia in the coming future. I not only for the fact that they're great properties, but I quite like traveling myself. I think one thing that unites most of us hosts is that we're adventurous people. It seems to be a commonality between the hosts that I deal with, that most hosts that I know are adventurers of some sort themselves, and they kind of find themselves in this business, which it's adventurous. This business, there's a great deal of adventure to it. Whether you're setting up a lakeside studio in the UK or whether you're off a surf retreat somewhere in South America, it's the same business. It's hosting and it seeks out the adventurous.
Awesome. So what would be the best way for people to find Hello Hosty, and what can they sign up for right now?
Right now, we are open to the early adopters. So early adopters will benefit if they head over to hellohosty.com, submit an email address on the sign up form there, and we will, when the product's launched, we will allow the early adopters free access for up to for a limited period of time, so that we can kind of work with other hosts, make sure that the solutions we brought forward really solve the problems for them. And the real benefit I see is from a host perspective is being part of it early on enables this software solution to be built tailored to their needs, because at this early stage we're going to be kind of ironing out creases. There's quite a group of me and my network of other hosts that have been on this journey over the last few years together. So this is kind of us coming together and creating something that will really solve problems for us, but we're open to other people joining us at this stage. And to be part of that, the process would be go over to hellohosty.com, input your email, and we go from there.
I love that idea that you're getting people on board at the very beginning, really knowing that you have to iron some things out, and they're going to help you do that, but making it free for a while so that
for sure.
they're not getting a product that doesn't quite work how they want it to, and they might know that. So
I mean, we hope from day one everything is absolutely perfect. It will be pretty good from day one. I mean, it will solve the big issues, and but the main thing is for example, I approach business from one angle, and let's say another friend of mine will tackle a problem slightly differently. So I may find a solution that I think, oh, that's exactly the way that I need it to be, but slightly different for my friend, and therefore the more people in this early adopters group, the more problems we can solve, the more angles we can cover, and make it kind of really tailor-made for the people that join early.
I love it. So if people wanted to find your house of bookings, is it just, how do they find that?
Houseofbookings.com. Yeah.
Okay. And will they find vacation rentals and places that they can rent on that site as well?
Yeah, sure. They'll find a list of the vacation rental properties we have available, and also for hosts, if they're looking for some assistance in terms of marketing or advice, feel free to reach out via houseofbookings.com.
That's awesome. So you have been in the space then for quite some time. What did you do before that?
Well, okay. Well, my entire adult professional career, let's say, pretty much, I've been in real estate. I've done real estate developments. Also, I mean, we also have a property management company in London, which is long-term rentals. And prior to that, I was actually an English teacher I lived in Brazil for a while, where let's
cool.
I like I say, I like to travel, and I like adventure.
You're an adventurer. Nice. So if you were giving advice to vacation rental owners, what would your best piece of advice be for them?
Well, the list would be endless. I would say if for somebody who's just starting out, I would say that the biggest thing, there's two big things. Let's say there's two big things. There's the number one, you have to realize that you are in the service industry. You are not in the industry that serves you. You're in the industry that serves other people. So you need to put the guest at the forefront of everything that you do and you think about. It's not necessarily saying that the customer is always right. I don't believe that mantra, but I do believe in really thinking about what it is you're doing. And then this links onto another point about ultimately you're selling beds. There's an amazing series on TV, Gordon Ramsay's Hotel Hell. Have you seen this? Hotels from Hell? Amazing. And the one key thing they do every time, they go in and they turn the beds into like these most luxurious, amazing, beautiful places. And we brought that into our businesses. Like the beds, that's what the guest really, the core of what they want, that's what they want. They want a bed which looks luxurious. It's got, luxury soft furnishings, expensive mattresses, you've got toppers, and the beds are really what sell. That, and of course, great images. You need a professional photographer. You need professional photography. I'd say that they're two things that I would really hammer home. If you want to press hosting, that's a good place to start. Yeah.
I love when my guests are like, oh, I slept so good. The beds are so comfortable. It's like, oh, good. Because there's nothing worse than you're on vacation and you can't sleep. And it's just because that bed is
Yeah,
old or it's just like just
yeah.
doesn't work. So you're
It's
right.
it's quite often it's because I believe if that's the case, then it's like the host has missed the point of what they're doing.
Sure. Yeah.
It all starts from the core of they're there to sleep, as well as
Right.
eat, have breakfast, meet together, maybe go and enjoy the outside. But the core is the sleep.
Sure. No, it's a very good point. I love it. So what is one question that we haven't hit on yet today that you want to make sure that you share with people?
A question that I'd like to share with people. Okay. Let's see. Maybe elaborate a little bit more on that.
What is something that maybe you didn't get a chance yet to talk about in our chat, either about your business or about advice, or maybe questions that you think people could have as you're starting to roll things out?
Yeah, you know what I've noticed in my adventure as a host that things are changing a lot at the moment. It seems to be like there's a lot of new hosts since the COVID days. There's a lot of new people coming along, and I really think that in this new wave of hosts, that I think people should really focus on connecting, finding mentors. I think that's a fantastic thing to do, to find somebody who's been there and done that can give you the advice. This will kind of like fast track your hosting journey. Having the right group of people around you. I also think outsourcing quicker is something I would advise people. It depends on there's many people, many different types of hosts. So there'd be somebody who just wants to host one unit and that be that. But if somebody's looking to build and to take on more and more properties, then I'd say outsource quicker and trust other people, trust the people you bring on to have responsibility. Give them responsibility and be able to go hands off quicker is something I would say.
I love it. Well, because that will help them to continue to scale faster. So if they really wanted to scale that business, yes, outsourcing is definitely going to do that for them.
People find it quite, I've noticed that in business in general, I think a lot of people find it very hard to let go of tasks. And I don't think I have a problem with that. I'm very good at quickly going, all yours.
Which is why that's one of your pieces of advice for people. I love it. So last thing before we end, you mentioned on your site that you're a channel manager and a bookings organizer.
Yeah.
For people who may not really understand exactly what you mean by that, can you elaborate a little bit more for maybe a newbie that really just has one or is looking to get to 10?
Right. Okay. Very good point. Looking to get to 10. I would say this bookings organizer element is mainly focused around having team, because if you're in a location, for example, we deal with the Alps, and in the Alps we deal with several different local property managers, and these local property managers, they don't do the guest communications, they don't organize the bookings, but what they do is they do organize the cleaning, maintenance, all the rest of it. So they say to us, the guys that communicate with the guests, hey, you have to use our systems. So so we have to use their calendar systems. But this platform, their systems are typically an Excel document, they're all different kind of variations on that, but it's an Excel document. So, and it's clunky, awkward, blah, blah, blah. So this bookings organizer aims to make it make that process communicating with these local property managers so much easier. So in terms of if somebody wants to grow their vacation rental business, having Hello Hosty will enable them to plug in to local property managers way easier, way quicker, way more organized, helping the local property managers manage the bookings a lot easier. There'll be automatic updates, new bookings, cancellations, changes, etc., reminders. So they're not just relying upon an Excel document which may or may not have been updated several days ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now that makes sense, especially as it seems like more and more owners or hosts are purchasing properties that are in other either countries or states, like in the United States. So they're not purchasing it, like down the block from them. The home that they're purchasing is several hours away, and they can't just get there. And when they're
Yeah.
growing their portfolio by, let's say they live in one state, they have a property, over in another state, and then they get another one over there. I can totally see your point where they're all going to be different with what you're dealing with.
Yeah, that's something I've found is that every location, every property manager, local manager, they got their own systems, and their systems are not good, and they can be improved. So this software helps people plug into local people a lot better. Yeah.
And then when you say bookings organizer, basically the same thing. It just kind of helps everything talk to each other to keep it organized for people.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point. That it will enable the local property managers to manage the bookings, manage their interpretation of the bookings, and to pick up on any changes automatically. It won't require, for example, at the moment, dealing with, I'm using the Alps as an example. Any changes in the calendars need to be put into this Excel document, and then with, it's not just, put a name in. It's like, no, the full booking information needs to go in there. So we're talking about arrival times, number of guests, any special requirements, telephone numbers, the whole thing. And then that needs to happen. And somebody else needs to notice it's happened. So you've got to notify them. It's like a whole massive process. And the bookings organizer basically means you won't need to do that. It means whenever there's a booking coming in, nobody needs to tell anybody. It's a notification. It will pop up, and there they have it. Okay, there's been a change in the calendar. Guest is actually arriving 2 hours earlier. It's basically organizing the bookings for the local property managers. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So we heard it here that if they want, they can go over to Hello Hosty online or on Instagram and start to get on that list with you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, it was great talking to you today, Clive. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you.